Today, the Supreme Court stuck a dagger in the heart of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. They're saying, in effect, that history cannot repeat itself, but I succumb and walk in my shoes. As Justice Ginsburg described in her dissent, the history is relevant because voting rights have been given in this country and they have been taken away. After the Civil War, slaves were given the right to vote by constitutional amendment. They were elected to Congress and served in this body. After a few short years later, those rights were nullified. And one of the worst, most brutal periods of discrimination and human and civil rights violation followed those decisions. It took exactly 100 years, from 1865 to 1965, to get those rights back. A nation turned a blind eye to legalize segregation and racial discrimination for 100 years. It took organizing people who feared for their lives. It took standing in unmovable lines. It took people struggling and dying for the right to vote. Just 49 years ago, 3 young men that I knew, on June 21st, 1964, Andy Goodman, Micah Schreiner, and James Shaney went out to investigate an African-American church that was burning, a church that had been used for voter registration workshops. They were detained by the sheriff, later taken to jail, taken out of jail, beaten, shot, and killed by the Klan. We don't want to go back. We want to go forward. The only thing I did a few short years ago, I gave a little blood on that bridge. But others, brothers and sisters of mine, and other people in the struggle, gave their very lives. The record Congress produced demonstrated the clear need for voting rights protection in our country. Even the court did not deny that discrimination still exists. The American people should use the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington and other opportunities to say we still need voting rights protection in our country. They must compel each and every member of Congress to act in a bipartisan fashion to fix or repair what the Congress or the Supreme Court rather broke. We must do it. We must do it now before another national election takes place. It is our calling. It is our mission. It is our mandate, and we have an obligation to act.